Have you ever wondered why 11th of November is important and a general holiday for most Canadians? This is History and Events Screen TV, where we educate and bring history alive, especially to those that were born yesterday and to those that are born today. This is, however, based on research for the purpose of learning. Please subscribe, like, comment, and share. This would go a long way in educating children and young adults of this generation. Every year on the 11th of November, Canada comes to a stop. Busy moments fall silent. Businesses pause and people everywhere bow their heads for 2 minutes of reflection. This is Remembrance Day, a time when the nation honors the brave men and women who fought and sacrificed for the peace and freedom we enjoy today. But how did this day come to be? And why do we wear the red poppy on our chests? The story goes back more than a century, to a time when the world was at war. In 1914, the First World War began, and Canada, though still a young country, sent over 600,000 soldiers to fight in Europe. They faced unimaginable conditions: mud, cold, fear, and loss, yet their courage shone through. The Battle of Vimy Ridge became one of Canada's proudest moments, a symbol of unity, strength, and determination. These soldiers weren't just fighting for a country. They were helping to define what Canada would become. After 4 long years of hardship, the guns finally fell silent on November 11th, 1918. The war ended at the 11th hour, the 11th day of the 11th month. This moment, known as the armistice, marked the beginning of peace after so much suffering. Across the world, people celebrated, but they also remembered those who never came home. Out of that remembrance, a tradition began a promise to never forget the price of freedom. This promise lives on today as Remembrance Day. The red poppy, which we wear proudly on our hearts, became a powerful symbol of this remembrance. It started with Canadian soldier, Lieutenant Colonel John McCrae, who wrote the famous poem in Flanders Fields. In it, he described how red poppies grew among the graves of fallen soldiers in Belgium. The poem touched hearts across the world, and soon the poppy became a way to honor those who gave their lives. Today, when we see that small red flower, it reminds us of bravery, sacrifice, and the hope for peace. But Remembrance Day is not only about World War I. It also honors those who served in the Second World War, the Korean War, peacekeeping missions, and more recent conflicts. Each veteran, each story adds another chapter to Canada's history of courage and compassion. Every November 11th, Canadians gather at cenotaphs, memorials, and schools across the country. Children, teachers, veterans, and families all stand together in silence, remembering the people who gave their tomorrow for our today. At exactly 11 o'clock, the nation pauses for 2 minutes of silence. In that stillness, we think of those who never returned home, those who did but carried the weight of war in their hearts, and the families who endured their absence. The silence is powerful. It connects generations, reminding us that freedom was never free. Today's generation has the responsibility to keep their memory alive. We can do that not just by wearing a poppy, but by showing kindness, understanding, and respect. Learning about our history helps ensure that the mistakes of the past are not repeated. It helps us value peace, community, and unity. As Canadians, remembering is part of who we are. It binds us together across time and tells us that bravery and compassion never fade. Remembrance Day is more than a date on the calendar. It is a living promise, a promise to those who fought for peace that we will remember them always. So as the flag waves and the trumpets sound, let us say the words that echo through generations. We will remember them, lest we forget